Hey everyone, Todd here, internalarchitect.com. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to physically recover after cancer. Now, I have a couple notes here. I have 4 things that I want to talk about with this video, and they all go hand in hand, right? There's a lot of there are different aspects to it, but at the end of the day, they all kind of complement each other as far as working on them. So maybe 5 things actually. So for the first one, I think it's really important to look into physical therapy. And what I mean by that is your insurance, hopefully you have insurance and hopefully you are able to battle cancer and become a survivor with the help of insurance. Otherwise, I know a couple people that didn't. One of them passed away. The other one, a couple of them passed away, and a couple of them survived and are still surviving right now. Thriving isn't really a word I want to use, but they are alive, and they are very grateful to be here now and to be able to talk about their story. And so back to the insurance side of it. Most insurance companies have a deal within the policy where physical therapy is covered for you for up to 6 months. A lot of people don't know this because it's not something that is just really well known. But physical therapy is huge. If you can go see a physical therapist, to kind of help get you back into some motion and movement again. And then we'll help kind of give you a little bit of guidance into some more physical activity that you can do outside and start kind of building you physically back up to a point to where you can, start going to a gym more often, or getting outside for walks, or maybe finding the hobby of running or bicycling or whatever it is. But by starting with physical therapy, it'll give you a chance to kind of start getting ranges of motion back in, back to a spot to where you might even be able to go further than you did before. And so that's a huge first part to start. Again, check into your insurance coverage to see if this is something that can be covered, and if it can, man, I would highly suggest you go do that. Because that will really kind of help get you ahead faster, having a little bit of guidance that can help you really start thriving in a quicker fashion. The next thing on my list is exercise, which is why physical therapy and exercise go hand in hand. And I really kind of fell in love with mountain biking, and I had a close friend of mine that I actually ride bikes with often now, that really has been telling me for years, you got to get a bike. You got to get a bike. Come on, when are you going to get a bike? You got to do this. You're going to love it when you do it. What's wrong with you? All the aboves, right? And I finally got into it a couple years ago, and he was absolutely right. But I wasn't ready for it at the time, obviously, and I was just too busy and just rebuilding myself and, getting myself back into a point where I felt good. And then by getting a bike and then being able to ride my bike to work all summer long, man, I've dropped 25 pounds. My joints feel really, really good. I feel really good. And I feel like I'm back on a track of really good positivity. The endorphins that are released during this activity, both, throughout the day, is just, it lasts all day. I'm a happy person. I'm pretty cheerful and pretty excited about all the things that I do during the day for my work and for the people that I work for on my job. And it's noticeable when bike season comes to a close and there's this in-between time of not really being able to ride and not being able to even go snowboarding or really do much hiking because the weather is miserable. And when you don't see the sun added on top of it, if you don't see the sun for a couple days, man, I just become grumpy and just, and it's not very pleasant for them to be around, or really for me either. And I know it. And I try to do some things about it, but it's just really hard, especially come winter time. And these might all sound like excuses, but they're just very real for me. And I do my best to make them all kind of work. But yeah, whether it's walking, jogging, biking, anything to get your heart rate up is really, really the goal of trying to get some exercise. I'm not a huge fan of the gym just because I live in such a great place that I can spend all my time out. I could be outside all day long and be the happiest guy in the world. If it wasn't for work, I would probably be doing that. But that's how life is. So, but being able to have the outdoors as kind of my gym has been huge for me. Not saying that you shouldn't, but I'm just saying that if going to the gym is what it takes for you to get exercise, then by all means go do it. You'll end up meeting people there that you might really enjoy, and if you're a single guy or a single girl, you might end up meeting someone there that you really enjoy being around all the time anyway, and that you have similar likes and interests in too. So an extra bonus thing that might come up that might help you physically recover also. The next thing is diet. Diet is hugely important, obviously, because what you feed your body is how you feel. And if you're feeding yourself good things, good veggies, if you're hydrating yourself really well, and you're eating good lean meats, whatever, then you're going to be feeling good. You're feeding your body properly, and obviously there's a lot more to it than that. But your diet is a huge factor in how you recover physically after cancer. I spent a lot of time really adjusting my diet after getting out of the hospital, because all that they can feed you when you are in a transplant unit is really bland, not very good stuff. And it was important for me to kind of get back into understanding nutrition a little bit more, and also just eating things that were a lot better for me. Now, this isn't going to happen every single day, every single meal. It just doesn't. I do my best to. But there are times where I have to stop at the local fast food place just to get something in me because I haven't eaten in 8 hours, and I have some issues if I don't eat more often. How's that? And I become grumpy and angry and frustrated and whatever. So sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, but make sure that if you do that you're getting what you feel is the healthier items on those menus. So keep that in mind. The next thing was my transplant doctor told me that when I get out of the hospital, there are two things that he wants me to do. One is get as much exercise as I felt like I could handle, and two, be in as clean of an environment as I possibly could. Now, the exercise and clean environment at the time were really pretty easy. Living up here in Breckenridge afforded me a very clean environment. I live at the where I was living at the time, I was at 10,500 feet, and it was a very, very clean environment. Outdoors were my haven. That's where I spent most of my time, really enjoying the clean environment, and that's where I was getting the exercise. So I was kind of hitting two birds with one stone. Now, I know this may not be easy for you if you live kind of in a city, or maybe even a little bit of a rural environment, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but trying to be in that clean environment, not breathing a lot of particulates from like exhaust and motor vehicles and manufacturing plants and whatever, really can make a big difference when you are recovering and physically recovering after cancer. So keep those in mind when you're doing it. But at the same time, you know, you want to be getting out and you want to be getting exercise and you want to be getting that heart rate up. So, you know, do what you can with what you have around you, but just be mindful of, you know, your environment and the type of exercise you're doing. And the last one I want to hit is just, you know, when you get into some of these extracurricular activities, exercise and physical therapy, you might find that there are some groups. I have it on here as like support groups, but I think it's more of like finding like-minded people and finding new friends, essentially, that are kind of not necessarily cancer survivors, but are people that are just interested in being healthy and being active in their lifestyle. And, you know, I have found as a mountain biker, as I've kind of gotten a little bit more into the mountain bike community up here in Breckenridge, that they are incredibly supportive and incredibly willing to help you get better, which has been such a huge relief for me, because as an old snowboarding competitor at a pretty high level, I never really felt like I had to experience the other side of it, where I was the one coming up. And it was such a relief being able to get to know some of these people and really becoming friends with them. That really made the difference for me and really has helped me enjoy the mountain biking lifestyle a little bit more. And at the end of the day, you know, I feel welcomed into this group, and I feel like they support me. They all know my story. They all know that I'm in the middle of rebuilding, and I can't ask for anything more than that, you know. And that's why I think it's really important to find these groups, and even some support groups outside of the physical side of things is going to be hugely beneficial also for you. So yeah, you know, that's kind of so there was 5 things on there, but you know, that's how it is, how to physically recover after cancer. And if you can keep to those 5 things, you're going to do a really, really good job at rebuilding yourself, rebuilding your body and your mind after cancer, because it really does take a big toll on everything that you know that you do, and to be able to rebuild yourself. One, it's a privilege to be able to do it as a survivor, because not all of us that go through cancer are able to do this. So, you know, keep that in mind. And yeah, you know, I appreciate your energy in watching these videos. Hit me in the comment section below if you have any questions, or even just add to this list if you want, you know, of things that you think might really benefit other people that you know, are looking to physically recover after cancer. Because, you know, this is just kind of a quick list that I put together to kind of help those that really are looking for it. So yeah, thanks again. Hit me in the comment section below, or give me a thumbs up if you like what you're hearing here. So again, thanks for your time and energy, and I will see you on the next video.